Hey guys, welcome to the Rocket Factory. Welcome back, subscribers, and if you're new here, thanks for checking me out. I've been working on this test rig. I designed and built this. This is my main accomplishment for the week. What I'm intending to do and what I am going to do today, we're going out to the rocket range. We're going to test this booster. This is an upgraded booster. This is an improvement from the last rocket that I launched, and if you didn't watch that video, you should click the link and check that out. Get the background information, and this video will make more sense to you. But there was an epic failure, and based on the failures that occurred on that rocket, I've made some changes to this. During this static fire, I really want to pay attention to three main things. I'm going to capture video, close up, and including slow motion. I'll share that with you in this video. I had intended to launch the new version. I've built the new version. I'm going to show it to you when we get out to the rocket range. But due to weather and time constraints, that's going to happen a couple days later. And when I post this video, it is going to include the launch of that rocket. And I'm expecting, I have high expectations, and based on the changes I've made, I have high expectation that that's going to be successful. I'll give you a little bit more information before we conduct the test fire. When we come back, I'm going to be at the rocket range. We're going to conduct the horizontal static fire. This is a booster section identical to the one on the rocket. I was prepared to launch this, and then I thought, you know what, I need to slow down and do a little bit more testing. Some radical changes in this design here. I added this section here. There are holes in the top of this cylinder that line up with these ports. And there is a pressure dome here. So when the ejection charges go off, the force is going to go up here, it's going to exit in these ports, and the thrust is going to go downward. There's an advantage of that in that it should not interfere with the staging of the booster section and the second stage, the main rocket. And this is mainly what I want to test today, but there's a couple other things that we need to test. We're going to test the peak force. This is on a slider. That's a Newton gauge, a force gauge, and it will capture the peak force during this fire. You've got three F-15-0 engines. Those should develop 20 pounds of force. Now I want to tell you something that I've done a little bit of research and checking my math. The thrust to weight ratio on this rocket, this full rocket here, weighs just over 2 pounds. That generates 20 pounds of thrust, and we're going to confirm that with that force gauge. That's a 10-to-1 thrust to weight ratio, which is ridiculous. Overkill, 10 times overkill, but this is ridiculous rocketry, so what the hell. Now, the forces on the rocket, those cardboard tubes, may not be able to handle that type of force. We're not going to be able to tell that in this test here. There is going to be a lot of stress and strain put on the cardboard tube right here when this develops full thrust. Would not be surprised to see this come apart. It's quite possible. I'm going to reset this because it registered a little bit of force. There's a couple other things that I need to check out. I'm going to be able to watch when I review the video. I'm going to be able to see the timing of the ignition on those three engines. I also want to see, this is a piece of quick fuse. So this end of this is going down into this chamber here, and when the ejection charges fire, it will ignite this. And I want to time and understand what's the delay between the time the ejection charges go off and the time that this goes off, because in that rocket there, this will launch, this will ignite the second stage engine, and then it will separate here. The staging will take place right here. This is the only place on the rocket where staging can take place unless something blows up. Now, if the ejection charge is significantly high, and we'll see it in this test article, then this is going to blow up. So we're going to want to understand that before we do an actual launch. If this goes halfway decent, Kim and I are going to be back out here tomorrow, and we're going to launch that rocket. So without further ado, I'm ready to conduct the static fire. I've got a new launch switch, a radio control launch switch. My other switch the internals, the electronic part failed. We're going to put this in fire mode, and when I press this key, it will launch. Kim, you want to step back probably. It's going to make a lot of noise, and it could blow up. 3, 2, 1. Holy frick. That is amazing. I hope did you aim your camera up when that was spiraling up in the air? I hope I got it. Yeah, 3 engines. I'm pretty sure 3 of these engines for a 2-pound rocket is just absolutely positively not going to work. Yeah, I kind of predicted this. This broke. That's when it let loose. You can see, now that worked. The pressure dome held up and the exhaust ports worked. So you know what? I do believe that rocket would fly just fine. So guess what, folks? We're going to launch that rocket.